My name's Fraser. I'm part of an organisation called Fluidity Freerun, and we're based here in Cardiff in South Wales. I've been practicing free running since Jump Britain came out. A group of friends and us, we all started back in school. When we started doing it, there wasn't really anyone else around in Wales. Everyone else seemed to be in all the different parts of England, so there weren't any big jams or meetups around for us to go meet people at. Wales is a really big country, and there's tons of cities and towns. So Cardiff being the capital city, that's kind of where the scene was properly developed. That's where everybody was getting trains to come meet each other in Cardiff. We all came from different valleys and other towns and cities, and Cardiff being the capital city, that's just where we've all been meeting up for the jams. When we first started coming out and training in Cardiff, we bumped into a few kind of random people that were training, and most of them kind of moved away to London and stuff. But one of the main guys we met was Craig Robinson. At the time, he was one of the only other guys that was had been doing it as long as us. He'd actually been doing it a bit longer, and who was actually really into it and was quite experienced.
My name's Craig Robinson. I've been training parkour freerunning now for about 10 years on and off. So my journey began basically in about 2003, London. Freshly before that, it was just a group of us, we had a game called Jumps, and it was maybe about 4 of us, and we used to just climb things, jump over things, the highest you can jump over or the highest you can drop from. It was the foundation of what parkour was. So yeah, it began from there, and then when I saw Jump London, I was whoa, this is actually a thing that people are doing. So when we started as a group of friends, there was no internet, videos, there was no YouTube, so it was a really hard place to start. It was you had to teach yourself. You knew what it was because it was explained in things, but there was no tutorials, there was no videos apart from that one video. So it was going out and trying things. Had that real new, fresh feeling to it. It was something that not many people were doing. But back when I met them, it was yes, there was someone else that was doing this, and you could share. You began to share. That's when the community started to grow. It became from being just 1 or 2 of us doing crazy stuff to a bigger group of us all sharing our different techniques and skills and different thoughts upon what we were actually doing. So yeah, it was a very good point, and it was very new, fresh, feeling to it. And every now and again, I do get that feeling back, and I try and recapture that even now after 10 years.
So a while later then, a lot of other people started seeing us about, we were training everywhere, and we had a lot of people asking us what we were doing and wanting to get into it. And this is when the scene started to grow. YouTube had probably just come out around about then. So there were lots of kids getting into it and seeing us out on the streets and stuff. And we were basically training. We used to rent out a gym called Turbine Gymnastics, and it started off being about 8 of us, but not long later there was probably about 30, 40 people wanting to come. So we basically agreed with the gym that we'd start running weekly sessions there. People were coming from all around to train with us, and this is when the scene really started to develop for us, because everybody had a place where they could come meet each other and just make friends and start jamming and stuff. Eventually, as soon as we were getting pretty busy, we had a lot of people picking up on us. We had BBC Wales came, they did a live news piece on us. So me and Craig, we actually went on the live news and we're talking about who we were and what we were doing. And they also did a piece for BBC Sport Wales. We started having a lot of regular meetups in all the towns and stuff, but Cardiff was always the main one. We did a lot of these bigger ones which had 30 or 40 people coming to. We when we were working with Free Flow, we organised this big jam with them, which basically a load of people from across the UK, probably about like 70 to 100 odd. We all came, everyone met up in Cardiff, we spent the day jamming, getting kicked off a lot of stuff, and basically we all went back to the gym and we had an overnight session. As for the spots in Cardiff, obviously over time a lot of stuff has changed. Stuff that was there 8 years ago when we all started is, long since gone now. There used to be this huge meeting point we had outside the central train station. It was just like this giant dome-shaped monument. We just used to call it the monument. And, we used to spend hours there, we'd meet up, and it was really great for tricks and stuff. So they basically just one day took it apart brick by brick and just moved it somewhere else. It's like not even in Cardiff now. Other places, have had rails put up or stuff that gets in the way, man, like barbed wire and stuff. A lot of things have just been completely knocked down and flattened. Modern architecture is just really quite useless, a lot of it that we get. So that's obviously like a main problem in Cardiff, but we've still got loads of great spots. Like a lot of the time we meet at this place called Premier. It's basically a hotel. Loads of kind of brownie red walls, different heights, loads of wood chip. That's a really fun area. We've got this really awesome place that we call Modern Spot. Don't know why it's called that, but that's another really awesome area. It's almost like a really, really mini Vauxhall, just loads of walls and stuff. But it's like we always get kicked off that by security. But the security there, they know who we are. They understand that what we're doing ain't really causing a problem. But obviously, if their boss sees us on CCTV and kind of tells them to come kick us off, like he has to, it's his job. So we've got to respect that, and we've got an understanding. But yeah, over the years, security's always been quite interesting. Like probably a few years back, back before they kind of knew what free running was and what we were doing, we probably did just look like we were breaking and entering or just dicking about. We've had a few little run-ins with securities where people have been. We had somebody get punched by a policeman once, and it was caught on camera somewhere. Let's see if I can find that. A security guy pulled one of us off a wall before. While somebody was basically hanging off it. He literally just wrenched him off it. We've had loads of stuff like that, but I'm sure everyone else has. But times have changed. They kind of know what we're doing now, and they just politely tell us to leave usually, and we politely go because we're cool. Like I was saying, Wales is a really big place. It's its own country kind of thing, but it's quite vast and spread out. And Cardiff being kind of in the southwest, we're really close to England. We're a stone throw away from Bristol. For me personally, although everyone meets up and trains in Cardiff, I don't particularly like to train in Cardiff much. We've got loads of, further west you go, we've got all these towns and cities that are on the coast, on the beach. There's loads of castles and ruins everywhere. There's a town called Clean, which has literally got Roman ruins. It's a big Roman kind of town, and there's an amphitheatre and barracks and stuff that have all been knocked down, and it's really different. It's kind of place that I haven't really trained anywhere else in the UK, and so there's some really kind of cool things that Wales has to offer. Yeah, the scene in Cardiff, at the moment is really good. There's kind of a big core unit of the younger guys, all kind of in their teen years. Yeah, so they're the ones that are out all the time and stuff. Mainly because most of them are in school. They're the ones organising all the meetups and jams. And then we're kind of all still here, all the older guys and stuff. A lot of people have moved on. A lot of the guys that we used to train with a few years back, they're all they've all just gone off to college or university now, so a lot of them have moved away. Some of them are just kind of too busy and don't do it as much anymore, or a lot of them might have even just stopped, but that's just how it goes, man. But there's always new people starting coming up through the ranks. We got all the indoor sessions and things, but like I said, there's kind kind of like a core unit of them that are always out making wicked videos and like doing absolutely mind-blowing stuff and blowing us out of the water. So that's really cool. We're always working with like councils and leisure centres and schools and stuff. Most of the members in the group, we all kind of like run our own classes like every week. On top of that, kind of like we're always trying to train up for more coaches so we can go do more of these classes and stuff. And we're trying to get, you know, the younger guys involved to help out, because it means, you know, they can get involved working with what they love, and that's kind of what we want to do, like, you know, really help the community. So people that want to free run and want to kind of teach it and spread it can do that, and obviously it's like a good little living on the side.
So yeah, like getting more into teaching now is like using parkour and free running as a way of growing a newer community, because in Wales it's kind of been really small and really underground, and now more people are starting to learn it, but a lot of people are still in the gyms and, you know, just doing like all their tricks and stuff, and they kind of still don't really know what it's about. So I think our goal now is to kind of help that grow and develop. At the moment, there's a lot of people really interested in parkour and free running, but I'm not quite sure if they got the right understanding of it. It's become more of a more of a gym culture instead of the roots of what it's meant to have been, sort of thing. So us as coaches now, it's like our duty to kind of help educate them in the right ways and get these people from in these gyms and say, look, you know, this is what the real foundation, this is the spirit of it. It's meant to, you're meant to be connecting with your environment. I think it's, as humans, we seek challenge, and I think it's innate in us to do that. And I think when people give it a go, you truly find out what it's about. So the goals for the future is just to kind of spread that message a bit more and get people to understand the real, you know, real principles behind it and the real feeling behind it. And I think then the community will flourish more.
In Wales, there's also some other organisations along with us. There's some guys in Bridgend and there's some guys in Swansea, and they're doing really well to look after the scene as well. They're all kind of like training to be coaches or training up more coaches, and they're delivering their own classes and working with the councils. And, you know, all this is really great. And you know, between us all, like, we kind of like have quite a lot of power to keep the community strong in Cardiff. So instead of just having people, you know, every town in the UK, you know, they got people that train and go out and do free running, but like, we kind of really want to protect the future of it. You know, we want people to be able to train properly and understand what it is, because it's, you know, it's getting so well known and mainstream now. There's a lot of people that are getting into it that kind of don't get into it properly. So I'd say, looking at the future of the scene in Wales, it's really promising at the moment. Like I said, there's quite a few of us organisations, and we're all working on kind of furthering what we've been doing already, like lots of classes, and like we're trying to get our own indoor place, which will basically serve as a headquarters for all the classes we do. And from that, then we're aiming to train up the younger guys, out all the time with us, and then they can help us. They can go out and do classes in schools and, you know, for leisure centres and all that. And kind of, if we all work together, we can kind of keep the scene really nurtured and cozy. Another thing we've been working on is we've had a lot of meetings with Free Move, and we've done some events with them. So we've been petitioning to, you know, Cardiff Council to try and get basically just get a Free Move park somewhere. I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. It's just taking some time. I mean, the rest of the UK's got one now, and Wales we're lagging a bit behind, because that's kind of what Wales does. But yeah, hopefully that'll happen soon, and that'd be really cool. So yeah, all in all, that's kind of my take on Wales anyway. So pretty badass, like, yeah. feel free to come crash. It's all pip.